Hey guys, back for another episode of Campionato TV after the second day, the second match day of Serie A. And I just wanted to come on here and talk about a couple things. Primarily, talking about the Napoli team that Aurelio De Laurentiis has in his management have put together. Oh, got a bumblebee over here. This season for the Serie A and the Champions League. I will agree that, before the season started with the departure of Insigne, the departure of Koulibaly, Fabian Ruiz, Mertens, I really wasn't that optimistic. But if you look back at my comments in my videos, I always said that I'm not that optimistic, but I have faith in Napoli because over the past years, they've always done this. They have a tremendous scouting team and ability to develop players. They always do this. They let somebody go, and they find other players. I could go on since the early 2000s when they got into Serie A. They've had so many players: Cavani, Hamsik. They've had just so many players. Gargano. They had Lavezzi. The list just goes on and on. And these guys, they always seem to get the players to make the team competitive. And I watched this game today against Monza, and Monza, they're newly promoted, right? But they just spanked the team. And for anybody who knows Italian football, Monza, they've definitely, added pieces to their team to be competitive in Serie A this season. They started 0-2. Napoli, I know if you guys look back at my Serie A predictions, I had them 5, but this team is no joke. They have gotten this, like these other players I told you. Now, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they have this Georgian player. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Number 77. He's playing the position of Insigne. Insigne is probably in Toronto, counting his cash. But, playing for Napoli and playing for Toronto FC, it's a different level. If you watch Toronto FC play, they play pretty good, but the speed and the talent is not at the same level as a team like Napoli. Those guys playing today were very aggressive. If it wasn't for Osimhen, they would have won the game probably like 10-0. But Osimhen, he missed a lot of shots, or he was selfish and he tried to score a goal. So I'm very excited about to see Napoli the rest of the season. They got this, like I said, they have this Georgian guy. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Kvaratskhelia. And he's just full of energy. He's a tremendous talent from what I've seen these first couple games. And he's got 3 goals. And he's filling in the position for Insigne. This is, I always say, that I know currently right now the Serie A is in the 3rd place in the European coefficient. But the Italian Serie A is second to nobody when it comes to finding talent and developing talent. With many of their teams. For example, this Napoli team, all right? They got Koulibaly, Fabian Ruiz, Mertens, and Insigne all gone. I'm sure they're making tons of money where they're going, but I know Insigne, he's making money, $13 million a year. Koulibaly's probably got something similar. I'm sure Fabian Ruiz is going to get something. And Mertens, I mean, I don't think he's getting as much as other guys, but they're always finding talent to reload. And this team looks nasty. I can't wait to see them the rest of the year and how they do in the Champions League. Plus, they got this Georgian player to replace Insigne. They got a new defender, I believe from South Korea, to replace Koulibaly. He looks strong. He's up there looking for headers on the crosses. I'm sure he's going to be, great addition. They got Raspadori from Sassuolo now. They got, I believe they got Simeone, and they got another player from Tottenham. And this team is a lethal team, and people are sleeping on them. I'm telling you, they don't have the superstar names, but they got a young, hungry team. A young, hungry team, fast, talented, and they will kick anybody's ass. I don't care who they're playing in the Champions League. And, wanted to come on here today to give them props. I know we had them as 5th place in the Serie A this year, but this team, they from what I've seen so far and the additions they're bringing in, looks like they're stacking up to do Champions League and Serie A. From past years, Napoli, they always start strong and they fade toward the end. So hopefully they've learned their lesson, and gotten, more reinforcements to sustain 3 competitions. Because they're in the Champions League, they're in the Serie A, obviously, and they're in the Coppa Italia. Anyways, wanted to come on today to give props to Napoli in their management. Just love the things they do. I love the atmosphere at the Diego Maradona. People people don't follow Italian football. They're probably looking at the game and they're like, why is there empty seats? At the Diego Maradona. Well, if you follow Italian football, you would know that those lower seats at the Diego Maradona, they're not very good for viewing the field and the fans. They like the upper bowl. There's about 40 plus thousand people there today. And in the visitors section, there was a small contingent from Monza, and that was it. Great team, great effort. Smart businessman, that Aurelio De Laurentiis. I would love to see him get a new stadium, though. But I can't envision like a Napoli team in a new stadium. It just would be very weird. But we're on the topic of Napoli and how great business they're doing. How they got younger. I think they look like they're a stronger team than last year, and they got less salary bill for the players. While we're on that topic, I just been watching. I've been watching this. Hearing about this. Some happenings in other leagues, specifically the Premier League, and this just goes to show you, like the incompetence. This Manchester United team over here. I mean, they've been irrelevant for many years. They've been pretty much irrelevant since Sir Alex Ferguson left. I know Mourinho, he did some pretty good things over there, but they've been pretty much irrelevant. And these guys over there at Manchester United, they go the whole summer. They don't think about bringing in new players like a Napoli did to strengthen their team. Instead, they go into this season with this team over there. The only thing they're looking to do is to spend money, and they don't even know what the hell they're spending it on. I mean, last year, the year before last year, they did a pretty good. I guess from looking at the record, they did pretty good. I think they went to the Europa League final. Then they brought in Ronaldo, and the team went downhill. They fired a coach, and they got another coach in there, Rangnick, and the team was still garbage. And now they got this guy Ten Hag over there. And, I mean, what kind of people, competent people that they got running this? I mean, if you want, to see how it's done, you should go look at Napoli. These guys at Manchester United, they start the season 0-2 and they get spanked by some bottom feeder teams. Now all of a sudden they're throwing around all this money, 70 million euros for Casemiro from Real Madrid. I love Casemiro. I think he's a fantastic player. He's broke my heart many times. But the guy, he's, over 30 years old. They're spending 70 million euros to bring this guy in over there. A guy that's won basically 5 champions. He won everything, pretty much. I mean, think about that for a minute. 70 million euros for a guy. He's a great player, but he's won everything. Think about it. Somebody that's been there, done that. Are they really going to have that much ambition to somebody that, is up and coming new talent like this Georgian guy that Napoli picked up? I don't think so. They pay 70 million euros for Casemiro, and now I heard that they want to spend 100 million euros for some guy at Ajax, Anthony. Everybody knows the Premier League is a very physical league. It's a fast league, and these guys are going to spend 100 million euros on a guy that nobody's even heard of, worldwide, and bring him over there to play in this Manchester. Now they talk about a dumpster fire. These guys, that's the thing. That's my big gripe with the Premier League. That a lot of these teams in the Premier League, that's how they solve their problem. Instead of being, smart, football club, an intelligent club, they just go and spend 100 million euros, this and that. They're just throwing money at their problems. That's how they got in the. And I mean, listen, I'm not trying to help Manchester United. I hope they stay a dumpster fire forever. And I hope the rest of the teams over there turn into dumpster fires too. But, these guys, they still have not learned their lesson. They're looking to bring in other people, people that have been there, done that, for all this money. What is that going to do? You need to revamp that whole team. Look at Napoli. They 4 guys out. They bring 4 new young guys that have a lot of energy, a lot of talent. Young players, a lot of energy, a lot of talent. Players that have something to prove. They got a low salary wage, and they're playing in front of some of the best fans in the world in a beautiful Naples area. So, anyways, I just was thinking about those 2 relationships. How those 2 relate, Manchester United and Napoli. One on one opposite and the other on other opposite. But that's it. That's all I wanted to get on here to say. That, Napoli, they're looking nice. AC Milan, they tied today. Inter, getting the business done. I mean, Inter, they're not really, impress me that much, but they never do. They get the job done, and that's it. Who else? Roma's playing tomorrow. Juve's playing tomorrow. Fiorentina drew, which rightfully so, because last week they didn't deserve to win that game. So that's it. That's all we have for today. We wanted to get on here and talk about Napoli and give them the props and tell them that they're probably one of the best looking teams so far in the Serie A season. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, the best Italian podcast on the net. We're not giving up. We're gonna keep going. Support us and send some comments on our page. All right. Have a good night. We also started a Facebook page. So now we have our YouTube page. We have our Instagram page and Facebook, and we're gonna get on other social media platforms to try to reach as many people as possible. All right, have a good week, guys. Enjoy the games tomorrow. Juventus and Samp and Roma, I believe, against Cremonese. So we'll see you.